fishing news is brought to you by a band of anglers, Yozori, Humminbirdman Coda, Lamaglass, and Navionics.
Hey there, Toby Lapinski for the New England edition of the Fisherman Magazine with this week's web video fishing forecast for New England. Well, to start things off this week, we got a little bit of a breaking news event for you. First and foremost, I got some big news here. We've got the fishing shows coming up over the next couple of weeks, and the news relates to that. If you haven't already seen, we posted this up on Facebook yesterday, the 38th Annual Sport Fishing Expo held by the Mass Striped Bass Association was scheduled for this Saturday and Sunday, March 14th and 15th. Now, unfortunately, due to public health concerns surrounding the coronavirus, we here at the Fisherman Magazine ended up making a very difficult decision to withdraw from attendance at the show. Now, don't get us wrong, this was not a spur-of-the-moment, easy decision to make. We toiled over it for quite some time, but we felt in the end it was the right thing for us to do, and it leads into the next step, which is the Northeast Fishing and Hunting Show. Now, an announcement was made on Wednesday of this week that they would not be proceeding with the show. The show itself was not going to take place. Now, coming directly from the press release, it reads, "The longtime producer of the Northeast Fishing and Hunting Show today announced the cancellation of its 23rd annual show in response to increasing public health concerns about the coronavirus. Connecticut's largest fishing and hunting show was scheduled to take place on Friday, March 20 to Sunday, March 22 at the Connecticut Convention Center in Hartford. There are no plans to reschedule the event that is always held just before the start of the spring fishing season. Looking forward at some of the additional shows we still have scheduled here in New England and beyond, we're not sure at this time how they're going to proceed. However, we have taken steps to address concerns of anyone who might have who intended to come see us at these two shows. So effective immediately and running through midnight on March 22nd, anyone who purchases a one-year subscription online at thefisherman.com, this is online only, and enters the promo code Northeast, Northeast, lowercase letters, will receive $3 off their one-year subscription rate, and we will send you an 8-inch Savage sand eel bait, which you would have received were you able to see us at one of the shows. Now, of course, this promo item is limited. We have limited supplies, and it's limited on date because I said it goes through midnight on March 22nd. So don't hesitate. Don't hold back. Act today, because I'd hate to have you miss out if we ran out, just the same as at the shows. So hop on it right now. Again, thefisherman.com. Enter promo code Northeast. That's a one-year subscription. You get $3 off. We will mail you a Savage sand eel bait. Just allow about 3 weeks or so until from making the payment for the subscription until you receive your bait. Now, as you'll see, I actually shot this week's video in advance, and then this developed after the fact. So from here, we're going to cut away and continue with your regularly scheduled video. As I mentioned last week, the official announcement for the first ever kayak-only fishing tournament hosted by the Fisherman Magazine is now posted at thefisherman.com, and it was also announced in the Mart print issue of the Fisherman. Now, similar to our Dreamboat Fishing Challenge, the Coastal Kayak Clash is a season-long multi-species fishing tournament open to subscribers of the Fisherman Magazine. Now, fishing in this tournament begins on May 1 and concludes on November 30th, and we've got species galore, everything that you're going to run into throughout the season. The eligible species specifically are weakfish, porgies, fluke, sea robin, bluefish, black sea bass, blackfish, and a combo hardtail category, as we're calling it, which includes, under one heading, both false albacore and bonito. Now, entries for this tournament are going to be made are based upon length, which means there's no requirement to harvest a fish in order to participate and enter it. Now, of course, so long as the fish falls within your local season and bag limits, you feel free to harvest it if you choose to do so. There's no requirement to release it. We're just not requiring you to harvest and weigh that fish in at a tackle shop. Again, it's going to be a length tournament, which means at the end of the season, when the tournament is over, at the conclusion, the angler who has the highest point total combined will take home the grand prize. And by this we mean first place gets a certain number of points, second place and third place and so on. Cross that final leaderboard, you combine to get your total final score. Well, what are you going to be fishing for? Let me tell you. It's an awesome new Old Town Sportsman Series Autopilot 136 kayak, complete with a Minn Kota trolling motor. I fished on this boat a couple of weeks ago while I was down in Florida, as I let you know last week, and it was a dream to use. Between the stability when I was standing up fishing, as well as sitting down, casting, fighting fish, ease of powering along rather than having to paddle or pedal as I had to do on my other kayak, I would literally just sit there with the remote control iPilot system and move the kayak along. Then when I'd hit some fish, bang, hit that spot lock button, it would hold me right in place. I could fight the fish, I could continue to cast away with no additional effort on my part. The boat stayed exactly where I locked it. Simply, all you do, again, you hit the button, it engages. It's a GPS-enabled spot lock system. The motor spins away, does its thing, holds you in place. You don't think about it, you just fish. Now, there's no additional fee or expense to get involved in this tournament. If you're already a subscriber, or if you become a subscriber to the Fisherman Magazine, you are automatically entered. Just like the Dream Boat, there is no extra fee in order to participate. And of course, the fish that you catch for the Coastal Kayak Clash, if you do decide to harvest them, you're more than welcome to enter them in the Dream Boat competition as well. So cross over there. For more information on the tournament, check out the post at thefisherman.com and be sure to watch the included video that I did, which is a full unboxing showing you that awesome grand prize kayak that you're going to be fishing for this year. All right, moving along into the fishing. Pretty much everybody that I've been talking to in the past week or so has mentioned their presumed expectation of an early saltwater season developing for us. It seems logical. I mean, I'm out here today. I don't need a hat. It's nice and warm. I got birds here to my side distracting me. Things are warming up. My Rhode Island contacts last week even noted that they started seeing herring already in the run. So I ran out this weekend, checked around the two spots that I always check for some of the earliest scout fish to poke into. Hadn't seen anything yet. That was Saturday afternoon. Usually I found 5 to 7 days after those Rhode Island runs start to fill in. I start to see them in Connecticut. So realistically, as you're watching this, they might just be poking in. I'm going to give it a look this weekend now that I'm not going to be up at the Mass Bass Show. But nonetheless, the water temperatures are warming up. And this is the time of year where I really I watch those temps almost every day. I check them out. And pretty much from the Cape all the way on down to the western end of Long Island Sound lately, those water temps, surface temperatures, of course, have been hovering right around 40 degrees, with most of them exceeding it on average throughout the day. And we even have two spots, the mouth of the Thames River and New Haven Harbor, that have been exceeding 45 degrees in the afternoons when the water is at its warmest. So, I mean, there's years we don't see those kind of temperatures till, geez, 3/4 of the way through April, let alone here we are halfway through March. So I'm not saying things are going to blow wide open too early on all species, but what I'm really looking at, what I'm really excited about, the opportunity or potential here in Connecticut at least, to have an early blackfish season, or maybe a complete blackfish season, because as y'all know, here in Connecticut we got a 1-month season, and at best we get those last 3 to 4 days of April before when the bite finally starts, and then it shuts down on us. So hopefully we'll have a pretty good wide open spring season. I can put that new kayak to use, be showing you that obviously if that happens. But we'll see. I'm going to keep monitoring it, and it does not hurt for you to take a look at those water temps as well. For those of you more interested in the freshwater deal, there's fish to be had right now. No need to wait. Heard from Scott Schneider of the Black Hall Outfitters fishing team. He hit one of his local ponds over the weekend from his kayak and got into some pretty good action on largemouth bass. Now he's throwing slow-moving baits like suspending jerk baits and jigs, and did well. I also got word from another one of the guys on the BHO fishing team, and he's been doing really well on smallmouth bass on jigs in the Connecticut River. So things are really starting to kick into gear there. And of course, Black Hall Outfitters is an authorized Old Town canoe and kayak dealer. So if you want to get a first-hand look at that grand prize for the Coastal Kayak Clash, I know Gene and the guys at both of the shops, Old Lyme and over in Westbrook, are going to have a bunch of them in. They were supposed to have them for next weekend's Northeast Fishing Show. They were going to be the big debut, so they have them in stock now. So feel free to swing on down, check it out, and see what you're going to be competing for. Continuing with the freshwater fishing, trout fishing, trout stocking has been well underway in New England for some time now, as I've been reporting for the past couple of weeks in the videos. And the Mass Division of Fisheries and Wildlife up in Massachusetts has been out just about every single day for the past 10 or so days, hitting lakes on the Cape as well as far west midweek as Worcester County. Usually they're just able to hit the Cape this time of year because everything's frozen once again over into the main part of Mass, but they're already into Worcester County because as it's so warm, the lakes are not frozen. So they've been getting a bunch of fish. So far it's all been rainbows that they've stocked according to the stocking chart. But looking forward, they plan to stock more than 500,000 fish across the state this spring. Now that includes 48,000 each of brook and brown trout, more than 200,000 rainbows, and more than 2,500 tiger trout. So get out there, take advantage of the fruits of your freshwater licensing fees. And then last up, we've got one more announcement for you. Cod fishing. I'm going to jump back to saltwater side. Cod fishing has pretty much been non-existent for the last couple of weeks. Now, granted, this weather, much better potential to get out and fish. It's a little bit warmer. I'm sure things are still a little churned up out there. I know a couple boats were going to try to sail this week. Had not heard back at the time of this video, but the guys on the Black Hawk, instead of heading out for the cod, they are running another seal watch this Saturday. That's March 14th. This one's going to benefit the New London Maritime Society. Now, they plan to leave the dock in Niantic at 1 p.m. The cost of the trip is $35 for adults, $30 for New London Maritime Society members, as well as children 18 and younger. Now, you got to call 860-447-2501 to purchase and reserve your seat for this trip. But again, it's a good time. Get out and spend some time outdoors this weekend. All right, well, there you have it. As this wind is starting to kick up a little bit, I'm Toby Lapinski for the New England edition of the Fisherman Magazine, wishing you tight lines if you head out on the water this weekend.